I'm always
Okay.
like,
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Post Game Project. My name is Taylor. I'm your host and founder. This podcast really focuses on highlighting the journeys and of former high level athletes. And I'm catching up with Teahna Daniels. She's Olympic medalist, NCAA medalist, multi time All American at the University of Texas. A little bit of a fun fact, we have a lot of mutual friends, but we've never actually met.
I
So
know, right?
super grateful to be here with her and to learn a little bit more about your journey and kind of what you're doing now. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing now as a mobility and fitness coach?
Yeah. So right now I am coaching youth athletes. I'm the head coach of a youth AAU team. It's called Brand Name Athlete, but short BNA. And I'm also a high school coach for women in high school. So I coach youth athletes, and I also have a mobility business called Meet T Move. Meet T Movement is my parent company. But Meet T on the Mat is a mobility class that I host for athletes and just everyday people. Because I
Awesome.
feel like honestly we deserve to move our bodies and understand how we to move our bodies.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I find that a lot of high level athletes, at least the ones that I know and have connected to, a lot of them pursue entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because the lifestyle as an athlete just doesn't fit a 9 to 5, or if you just really wanted to be in the fitness and wellness space, obviously being an athlete. How has your transition been to now being a coach and an entrepreneur from being an athlete?
So actually, when I stopped running track professionally, I started to work for my mom. My mom
Okay.
owns a school called Kids College Primary and Secondary School, and she also owns a
Oh,
daycare called Kids College in Orlando. Yeah, so I started working for her, and I started to do the aftercare program. I liked working with my mom because it taught me how to be an
yeah,
employee. Since as athletes, we are employees, but also too like I've been running track all my life, so that stuff felt very natural and
it's what you
normal.
know. Yeah.
Exactly, is what I know, but being an employee and actually working under someone is a totally different type of mind frame and process because there are a lot of protocols that go into place and
Especially
everything.
with
So
childcare. Yeah.
exactly, and it was a hard lesson, but I'm glad I learned it because it helped me um understand what it means to be a businesswoman for one, and also two, I it gave me the courage to pursue other careers. So I worked with Ernst and Young EY.
Oh, yeah.
They
Yeah.
had a program, a athlete kind of like progression program,
Okay.
in 2021, right after the Olympics, and
Yep.
I worked with them for that, and then that created an opportunity for me to have a contract position with them last year.
Okay.
And I definitely recommend athletes move towards contract positions possibly if you want to get into the 9 to 5 realm. I don't feel as though 9 to 5 is like a bad thing at all. It's
No.
definitely consistent money in
Yeah.
it, and because entrepreneurship is very hard,
It
especially if you
is.
don't have the support. Um, but it's not like I didn't dabble in 9 to 5. I definitely did, and I'm looking to go back into it in some type of way. I
Really?
am. So
Okay.
even though yes, I am doing my entrepreneurship and my health and wellness
Hmm.
space, but that's my passion projects. But obviously, we need funding for that.
Yep.
So getting
Sustainable income.
exactly.
Okay.
So the 9 to 5 thing is definitely something that I
Awesome.
want to tap back into.
Okay. So current coach started in childcare, kind of learned the whole entrepreneur businesswoman thing from your mom, which is really cool. But looking to hopefully get back in, continuing with the fitness and wellness,
Yes,
but
absolutely.
obviously having that stability and that income.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Definitely,
Makes a lot of sense.
you wanna be smart with
Yeah.
your business choices for sure.
Can you talk about some traits as a former high level athlete that you've taken from being so successful on the track to being a successful businesswoman and professional today?
I would definitely say the discipline.
For sure.
Yeah, number one is discipline.
Yeah.
My coaches definitely instilled that into me. Understanding like, having to be on time when it comes to
Yep.
going to
Punctual. Yeah.
practice and all that stuff because I've seen when I'm not like that, opportunities seem to fall.
Right.
And once you understand that pattern and see that pattern, it's easy to kind of like stay on top of things and
Yes.
stay on track. I'm definitely like type B for sure.
Okay.
But it's an organized type
I got
of
you.
thing.
I got you. I feel that. Yeah.
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 Something that I really struggled with was like, I feel like, and especially at Texas and schools like the University of Florida, you're always booked, right? Like you wake up, they have you doing treatment, then you got to go to tutoring, and then you got to go to class, and then practice, and then lift, and then rehab. And I miss having that like structure. Like I
Yeah.
feel like my day is so kind of like open now,
Mhm.
which I don't mind the freedom, but I miss having so much purpose. Like
Yeah.
every hour of the day, I was doing something,
Mhm.
and filling that time now can be a little bit hard for me.
That's honestly why I chose to pursue yoga again and like mobility
Hmm.
because we are high level athletes
Yeah.
and we want to be
Always
fast
go,
paced,
go,
fast
go.
paced. It's okay to slow down
Okay.
sometimes and like reevaluate what exactly we're going towards because obviously as athletes we have a coach that has a plan for us already.
Right.
All we have to do is follow it.
Literally.
All we have to do is follow it.
Workouts are written. Yep.
Everything is written. Even when it comes to just being in school, everything is structured for you.
Literally. I didn't know
Yeah,
how to pick a course in grad school, girl. I was so embarrassed.
that's what I'm saying.
I
But
know.
that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of we had the privilege of not having to worry about a lot of legwork. And when it comes to just being a high level athlete,
Yeah.
but as soon as you hit that professional realm, you're doing everything on your own.
Oh, yeah. As a
And
pro athlete or as like a professional,
in
just in
general,
general? Okay.
as a pro
Both. Yeah.
athlete, as a professional in just the world,
Yeah.
there's things that are gonna happen with you a part of it or not. So it's like you have to make sure that you're understanding and reevaluating like what it is that you really want
Yeah.
out of whatever situation that you're in and you're not just going in it just because. And that's why I say slowing down helps because it helps you reevaluate,
Yeah.
those moments
And
for
would you
sure.
say your practicing yoga helps you with that? Even
Absolutely.
the mental piece? Yeah.
Absolutely, mentally, yeah, for sure. It keeps you level headed because everybody's asking like, "How do you do so much? How do you do so much?"
You do a
Because
lot.
I do a lot, but I still have time for myself.
Good.
So that
Awesome.
I feel like that is one of the most important things that I do put into my schedule. Like I make sure like whatever I'm doing, I still have me time.
I
Like
love that.
I was just talking to my agent and I was like, I love to dilly dally. Like that is my favorite thing to
Oh,
do. I love to dilly dally and
yeah.
have a good time and just be me and without having to work,
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like I'm working.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Does your fitness business, so obviously you generate profit from coaching and mobility
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Does it feel like work to you? Because you did say it was your
Mhm.
passion project.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. No.
That's awesome. That's
No,
amazing.
it
Good for
doesn't.
you.
Yeah, not right now, it doesn't feel like that right now. I love connecting with people.
Yes.
I love connecting with my community. I love teaching people how to move their bodies because, a lot of a lot of a lot of the times we hold a lot of, like, tension and pressure in our
Yes,
bodies,
we
and if
do.
we don't allow the time to, like, be able to move it or even understand what those range of emotions are, we get tense and we have stress and stress kills.
Yeah.
Like my mom is
Wow.
a big advocate on not having stress in her life and
Oh,
I definitely understand why
that's awesome.
because it kills it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. You made a really interesting video on Instagram
Mhm.
about your journey with body image after sport,
Mhm.
something that we don't talk about and something that a lot of women experience. When you're not training 30 plus hours a week, like
Mhm.
obviously your body may reflect that.
Mhm.
Can you talk a little bit about what made you want to post that reel, maybe some of the feedback that you got and being able to share that experience as a female athlete, what
Mhm.
that was like for you?
Yeah. Well, thank you for asking that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just something convicted me to like just say that
Yeah.
particular message. I wasn't even trying to like it was just on my heart and I knew I needed to say something about this topic that we don't talk
So many people were like
yeah.
grateful that you posted that and could
Absolutely.
relate, I think.
Absolutely. I had a coach come thank
Ooh.
you. As talking about body image. Sizzling green. Hello.
Shout out Sizzling Greens. I will tag them.
Yep.
Awesome steak sandwich. I had a shrimp sandwich and it was incredible.
Yes.
So if you're ever in Orlando, check them out. Thank you so much.
But yeah, nothing in particular like
Okay.
it's like, oh I need to talk about it but I knew that it was something that women, or not even women, athletes face. 'Cause
So many.
I I was at a track meet recently, a high school track meet recently, and one of my coaches that I used to be coached by said, "Teahna, I related to you so much in that message, like, because that person was a was a high level
Yep.
athlete, and after years and years of like having kids and like just getting older,
Body changes.
your body changes, and you have to accept that. Like sometimes you're not gonna have abs,
Right.
you
Correct. Yeah.
know."
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not gonna have abs. Sometimes they're gonna poke out. Sometimes they're not, and we just have to be okay with
Do you think a lot of athletes have unreal expectations about their body when they finish sport?
that. Yes, but I don't want to blame them though.
Okay.
I don't want to put that on them because we are conditioned
Yeah.
to set to we have weigh-ins. We had weigh-ins in college, and
Yeah.
we had weigh-ins.
Weight is huge
Yeah,
for female athletes.
and it was all us. Like we were not targeted, but we had to be the focal point. And I understand the reason because it was a reason. And me losing weight was a great thing for my career. I needed
Okay.
to do that in that moment, in that season of my life. But I shouldn't want to carry that, in a sense, like it's not shame, but just that history or that feeling of disappointment. I would say disappointment of the scale into my everyday life.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like when it comes to the scale, especially with female athletes, like
Mhm.
I ran my best when I felt strong. Muscle weighs more than fat, right? So I
Mhm.
could step on a scale and have the least amount of body fat, the most amount of muscle mass,
Mhm.
the ability to apply force into the track. Obviously, to propel yourself forward, you need strength.
Yep.
So I think there's a fine line with weight and female athletes, and I don't think the scale is always accurate in
Yeah.
terms of performance.
Mhm.
And that's something I really struggled with.
I mean, I was a heavy well, even when I was running in at the Olympic trials, I want to say I was like
Yeah.
155,
Yeah.
157 around that
Okay.
time. And although like that's light for me, that's heavy for a lot of other
Yeah.
athletes. Like
Yeah.
a lot of athletes can't hold 150s
Right.
and sprint at a high
Right.
level.
Well, everyone's unique, right? For your
Exactly,
body and your
exactly. And
metabolism and works.
I think as coaches have a responsibility to understand that
Oh, I
and
love
to
that.
no, they do. They do have a responsibility to
Yes.
understand that and to cater their training around it. And if you can't, I mean, just admit that
Yeah.
and move on.
Yeah.
But don't let ego or driving this athlete into the ground mentally and physically just because they can't meet a number on the scale,
Yeah. Yeah. I
like
know.
not can't, but it's hard. It's very challenging.
Really.
If we're really like talking about weight loss and the science behind weight loss, it's gonna take a while for that stuff to
Yeah.
stick.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that answer. Awesome. And I'm so glad that you posted that. I think social media in general is moving toward like vulnerable, relatable content. I think we're finally having conversations like this
Mhm.
that 10 years ago weren't really a
Nope.
thing, were kind of taboo.
Mhm.
So it's really refreshing to hear you say that.
Yeah. I think.
Now, to pivot a little bit, I want to talk about the mental side of
Mhm.
leaving your sport. Obviously, your identity was an athlete. You're an Olympic medalist.
Yeah.
You ran at Texas.
Yeah.
In your community, you're known
Mhm.
as the athlete, and now you're a coach. Was it hard for you mentally to transition out of sport to officially retire and hang your spikes up?
Yeah, and honestly, retire. I was just talking to somebody the other day about having a retirement party because I never had one,
Oh
and
my gosh,
I'm like,
that sounds
yeah,
kind of fun.
yeah. So I'm thinking maybe for like my
You have a lot to
30th,
celebrate.
yeah, I'll do that because my 30th is next year. To have some time to plan for it. Yeah, but um, the transition was definitely different. It was different because I didn't even know I was going through a transition
Hmm.
until I was like already in it, if that
Okay,
makes sense.
can you
Because
elaborate on that a
okay,
little?
so while I was still coaching, I was still trying to compete, but compete with bobsled.
Got it.
So
Yes,
I was
that was
still
my next
like,
question.
yeah, so I was still having that athlete
Yep.
mentality and like, needing a schedule and all that stuff like that. So coming to having to be a coach was more of me like, teaching myself how to do that cuz coaching I've been my degree technically is in coaching.
Oh,
That's kind of like why I'm doing the things that I'm doing
got it.
now because
Yep.
it
Covers a lot of
comes
bases. Yeah.
yeah, a lot. And that's why I feel like it comes so natural because I literally went to school for
No, literally.
it.
Yeah, no, it's perfect for you.
Yeah, so while I was still coaching, while I was my first year of actually like really coaching for real. I was trying to train for bobsled, so and that was I want to say that was last year.
Okay, so
Well, when it
2025?
yeah, 2025, 2020, I would say 2024 is when I dabbled into coaching,
Okay,
but 2025 is when I was like, okay, this is
got
something
it.
that I actually really want
And
to do.
when were you like, "You know what? I'm gonna close this chapter in terms of
Track.
racing and competing in track and or bobsled?"
Yeah. I definitely still want to pursue bobsled. Because bobsled, their next Olympics is in 2030. So
Yeah.
I have time
Yeah.
to, get right to it because I started training for bobsled, I want to say
What's the
last
training
summer.
like? Is it like sprint training or
Yeah, basically. But one thing that I wanted to do more of was over speed training.
Got it.
I didn't get to do that. And we definitely need a lot of over speed training because when you're going down that slope,
Yep.
you have to keep up with the sled, keep
Yeah.
pressure on the sled.
Huh.
So that's something that I wanted to incorporate in my
Fun.
training, but I just didn't get a chance to. But now that I have the time, I mean, I can be able to do that.
Awesome.
So
Well, I will be following.
thank
That's really
you,
cool. Good for you.
thank you. Um, but as for track, my contract with Nike ended in 2023.
Okay.
And I knew I just didn't have the drive to want to wake up early in the morning and be at the track all day.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just kind of hit me one day. And I will say there was like a moment in my life that kind of made me reevaluate like what I actually want to do
Okay.
in life when it comes to just, being close with my family, having that me time, having that time to like
Balance.
yeah, that work life balance. And track just wasn't fitting in that picture anymore as an
Yeah.
athlete. So I wasn't really trying to get a new contract
Yep.
or anything because I knew it was something that I just wasn't
Okay.
passionate about.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
What advice do you have, just based on your experience, for athletes listening, athletes thinking about retirement? Every athlete's sport's going to come to an end,
Yeah.
right? Eventually,
hmm
whenever that is. What is a piece of advice that you have from your experience that you can share with those people who are listening right now?
Um, definitely be sure, be 100% sure if this is what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, you are a business and you have to conduct your business professionally. You have people on your team, your agents, your coaches, your training partners if you have any. And if it's something that you want to step away from, just calculate the risk and go with what you want. That's pretty much all the advice that I gave myself in the process of making the decision of not
I love
running
that. Yeah.
anymore. But I'm definitely having a clear mind, a sound mind, a clear and sound heart as well. And making sure that this decision isn't based on just solely emotion. And
Yeah.
it's really based on logic and you having a plan at the end of the day.
Yes. I think a lot of athletes feel lost because, like I said, you're an athlete. Your day is structured. You know,
Yeah,
when you're racing, your workouts are written, your meals are planned for
yeah,
you,
literally
everything.
everything.
And then all of a sudden your sport comes to an end and it's like, so
Yeah,
I think that's so important.
you get scrambled. You can get scrambled in
I
that
agree.
process for sure.
I agree. Yeah.
There's moments that I was scrambled and I honestly started to have, that depression, that those episodes
Of
where
course.
I'm lashing out and everything and lashing out at everything and everybody because I have an internal
Yes.
affliction within myself
Yeah.
and that's not fair. So like I said, just make sure that you have a sound mind, a sound heart in your decision and it's not just based off of, you frustrated because you're not
Yeah.
performing well,
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Well, I still have you. Anything that you want to say?
Shout out to Sizzling Greens.
Yes. Yes. Your food looks amazing.
And shout out to you. Thank you for just, creating
Oh,
a space for athletes to speak,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for having this conversation. I will definitely be in Orlando to meet you on the mat.
Yeah, yeah,
I would
yes,
love to
yes,
hop
yes,
into
yes.
a workout.
My next one it will be we're shooting for May 24th at a special location.
May 24th, special location. Yeah.
Thank,
Thank you so much.
thank you, sweetie.
Thanks, guys. Bye. Girl, you are amazing.
Aw.